What's up, everybody? Go Burns climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for another rant. Today, we're going to talk about my thoughts regarding remastered versus backwards compatible games. Now, in 2016, we've had several remasters, like Batman Return to Arkham, which included Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, BioShock The Collection, which included, I believe, BioShock, BioShock 2, and of course BioShock Infinite, Skyrim Special Edition, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, which was all the Assassin's Creeds that featured the protagonist Ezio, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 Remastered, which only came if you purchased Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and of course, there's probably a few others as well that I may have missed. But anyways, I've noticed something that a lot of these remasters don't exactly live up to the original version of the game. Now, not all of them. Some of them actually do a decent job and end up being on par. Some of them actually add something a little bit more, like, for example, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 also allow mods. Well, it's a little bit better on Xbox One because they allow up to 5 gigs for mods. At PlayStation 4, it's 1 gig, but still, you're able to use mods on the current gen consoles regarding Skyrim Special Edition. So that's cool. That's I guess you could say that's something that makes Skyrim Special Edition stand apart from the other remasters. But anyways, I guess it's all playing into the nostalgia that we have, our member berries, as I joke around about regarding South Park. And as a gamer, been one since the 80s, I don't have a problem with going back and playing old games that I enjoyed, like, Batman Arkham Asylum or Batman Arkham City. But at the same time, I don't really feel the desire to go and pay money for a quote-unquote remastered version that ends up looking worse than the original versions. I'd rather have the ability to make them backwards compatible, like with a lot of the games over on Xbox One now. Now, obviously, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are not backwards compatible on Xbox One, which sucks, but at the same time, they do have, as you can tell, a lot of games that you can play on Xbox One that you once were able to play on the 360. So that is really awesome. Whether or not you have the disc, or you simply have to go to, say, GameStop or another used gaming store, purchase the disc for a cheap price, say like $5, $10+ bucks, and then install it, or you can just go to the Xbox Live Store and purchase these various games that are now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. I think that is the better approach because 9 times out of 10, these remastered games come out as full price games, and the performance is just really, really shoddy. They might as well just made them backwards compatible. That way we can play them as we remember them. And of course, over on the PlayStation 4, they have released a lot of games from, I think, the PlayStation 2. And I played several over the past year, like the Grand Theft Auto 3 3D games, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and of course, Red Dead Revolver most recently. I've been Let's Playing that, as well as Destroy All Humans. In fact, Destroy All Humans 2 just recently came out as well. So I'm kind of excited about that, even though Destroy All Humans, the first one, was my fave between the two. And then, of course, on PlayStation Now, which is a streaming service, a very expensive streaming service, only available in certain parts of the world, including, I think, North America and Europe. Yeah, it's like $20 a month or $45 for 3 months. There's like a 7-day free trial, and there's like over 450 games that you can play on this streaming service. And a lot of times it really doesn't work so well from what I've been told. But coming up on Tuesday, December 6th, they're adding Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare to PlayStation Now. But over on the Xbox One, Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare are both already backwards compatible. So, yes, there's a lot of awesome games that have come out over the past several years that a lot of us want to go back and play via the current gen consoles. And there's several approaches to do that, whether it's through the streaming service of PlayStation Now, or backwards compatible games like on Xbox One or via PlayStation 4, which is weird because they're getting the PlayStation 2 games over on the PlayStation Store, but it looks like the PlayStation 3 games are going over to PlayStation Now for some rhyme or reason. It's very strange. But then, of course, the other approach is these remastered games, and to be honest, if they're going to put all this effort to remaster a game, they spend money on it, and most of the time it turns out looking worse than what we remember. Or side-by-side comparisons between the original Arkham Asylum, Arkham City versus the remastered counterparts, and you look at them and you're like, what? Why do they even bother? It's all about money, unfortunately. So I would very much prefer developers and publishers who want to make a few bucks off of the older games that we really want to play. Like, for example, I would say Grand Theft Auto 4. I would love Grand Theft Auto 4 to eventually be backwards compatible on Xbox One and also backwards compatible on the PlayStation 4. I don't know if that's possible, but anyways, I would much rather have the original version of Grand Theft Auto 4 along with its DLCs, Lost in the Dam, Ballad of Gay Tony, than a quote-unquote remastered version of the game. The same thing I would say about Grand Theft Auto, the 3D games. Even though there's a little bit of nostalgia that rubs off whenever you play those games, I would still play Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas as is, then run the risk of a very, very shoddy remastered version of those games. But let me know below in the comment section, what are your thoughts about remastered games? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you think that the developers and publishers should simply just make them backwards compatible and just release the original version of the game from previous generations? Or do you think that some of the remasters that have come out are really good and they live up and maybe even surpass the original version of those games? Let me know below in the comment section. And if you have a rant for a future episode, feel free and send it my way via the comment section, Twitter, Facebook, or email goburns@gmail.com. By the way, coming next week, a completely remastered version of this rant.